Welcome to the 11th element of the Alkhemia Path, sodium. As you listen, allow the information to inspire curiosity, the mantras to deepen awareness, and the practices to bring the experience into your daily life. Let us begin our journey through the Wheel of 12 and the alchemy of sodium. Day 1, Chakra, Earth Star, Sign, Aries. Day 1 begins with sodium's explosive reaction with water. Pure sodium is a soft metal that reacts violently when it touches water. Heat is released, hydrogen gas is produced, and the reaction can even ignite into flames. This is why sodium is never found freely in nature. It is simply too reactive. Chemists store pure sodium under oil to prevent contact with moisture in the air. Although most people never handle pure sodium, this reactivity is what makes sodium so useful. It constantly seeks to form compounds and participate in chemical processes. In a sense, sodium is nature's reminder that some things are designed to create change the moment they encounter the right conditions. Time mantra. I am sodium. I am the spark of salt that gives flavor to life. Space mantra. I am activating the explosive reaction within me. I am sodium. Day 2, Chakra, Root, Sign, Taurus. Day 2 focuses on sodium as salt. When sodium combines with chlorine, it forms sodium chloride, or common table salt. This stable crystal structure transformed human civilization. Salt allowed food to be preserved long before refrigeration existed. Entire trade routes, economies, and even wars revolved around salt. Ancient Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in salt, which is where the word salary originated. Today, salt remains essential not only for flavor, but also for food preservation, water treatment, and industrial applications. The sodium that once reacted explosively has become one of the most stable and useful substances in everyday life. Time mantra. I have sodium. I have the salt that preserves my root. Space mantra. I am crystallizing reactive metal into stable salt. I am crystallized sodium. Day 3, Chakra, Throat, Sign, Gemini. Day 3 explores sodium's role in communication within the human body. Every thought, movement, sensation, and memory depends on sodium ions moving across nerve cell membranes. When a neuron fires, sodium rushes into the cell, creating an electrical signal called an action potential. Without sodium, the brain could not communicate with muscles, organs, or other neurons. The conversation happening inside your nervous system right now depends on billions of sodium ions moving every second. Sodium is literally one of the messengers of consciousness. Time mantra. I communicate sodium. I communicate my light to illuminate the path. Space mantra. I am transmitting impulses through ionic sodium. I am sodium that transmits. Day 4, Chakra, Sacral, Sign, Cancer. Day 4 examines water balance. One of sodium's most important jobs is regulating where water goes in the body. Water naturally follows sodium. If sodium levels rise, water is retained. If sodium levels fall, water moves into cells. This is why eating a very salty meal may make you thirsty or cause temporary swelling in your fingers and ankles. The kidneys constantly adjust sodium levels to maintain the proper balance. Every cell in the body depends on this system. Without sodium regulation, life would quickly become impossible. Time mantra. I feel sodium. I feel the flow of my waters in balance. Space mantra. I am protecting water balance with sodium. I am sodium that protects. Day 5. Chakra. Solar plexus. Sign. Leo. Day 5 highlights sodium's famous yellow flame. When sodium is heated, it emits bright yellow light at a wavelength of approximately 589 nanometers. This yellow glow is so distinctive that chemists use it to identify sodium in flame tests. For many decades, sodium vapor lamps illuminated roads, tunnels, and highways around the world with their characteristic golden yellow light. Fireworks manufacturers also use sodium compounds to create brilliant yellow colors in displays. Sodium literally has a unique visual signature that announces its presence wherever it burns. Time mantra. I can sodium. I can ignite my light like a radiant flame. Space mantra. I am expressing the yellow flame of sodium. I am sodium that shines. Day 6. Chakra. Knees. Sign. Virgo. Day 6 introduces one of biology's greatest achievements, the sodium-potassium pump. This microscopic molecular machine operates continuously in nearly every cell of the body. It pumps 3 sodium ions out of a cell, while bringing 2 potassium ions inside. This process consumes enormous amounts of energy. In fact, a significant portion of the brain's energy is spent simply maintaining these pumps. Without them, nerve cells would stop functioning, muscles would fail, and the heart would cease beating. The sodium-potassium pump is one of the hidden systems that quietly keeps us alive every moment of every day. Time mantra. I analyze sodium. I analyze my bonds to sustain life. Space mantra. I am refining the sodium pump with cellular precision. I am purified sodium. Day 7. Heart. Sign. Libra. Day 7 focuses on balance. Healthy blood sodium levels must remain within a very narrow range, typically between 135 and 145 milliequivalents per liter. Too little sodium, known as hyponatremia, can cause confusion, seizures, and even coma. Too much sodium, known as hypernatremia, can also be dangerous. Athletes sometimes learn this lesson the hard way. Drinking excessive amounts of water without replacing electrolytes can dilute sodium levels and create serious health problems. The body works constantly to maintain this delicate balance because life depends on it. Time mantra. I balance sodium. I balance my inner salt in vital harmony. Space mantra. I am balancing sodium in just proportion. I am balanced sodium. Day 8. Chakra. Higher heart. Sign Scorpio. Day 8 examines the dangers of excess sodium. While sodium is essential, too much can contribute to high blood pressure, kidney stress, and cardiovascular disease. Interestingly, most excess sodium does not come from the salt shaker. It comes from processed foods, fast food, canned products, sauces, and restaurant meals. The same element that sustains life can become harmful when consumed without moderation. This illustrates a common theme in science. The difference between medicine and poison is often the dose. Time mantra. I desire sodium. I desire to transform the waters into a source of creation. Space mantra. I am transforming the poison of excess into consciousness. I am transformed sodium. Day 9, chakra, third eye, sign, Sagittarius. Day 9 expands our perspective to the oceans. Sodium is the dominant ion in seawater and is responsible for the salty taste of the oceans. Every liter of seawater contains roughly 10 grams of sodium. Ocean currents distribute sodium around the globe, influencing marine chemistry and helping regulate Earth's environmental systems. Scientists often point out that human blood plasma resembles diluted seawater, reflecting our ancient evolutionary connection to the oceans where life first emerged. In a very real sense, traces of the ancient sea still flow through our veins. Time mantra. I see sodium. I see within me the reflection of stellar fire. Space mantra. I am expanding sodium into the planetary oceans. I am oceanic sodium. Day 10. Chakra, ankles, sign, Capricorn. Day 10 focuses on industry. Sodium hydroxide, also known as caustic soda, is one of the most important industrial chemicals in existence. It is used to manufacture soap, paper, textiles, aluminum, detergents, and countless other products. Every day, millions of people use products that depend on sodium chemistry without realizing it. Modern industry would look very different without sodium compounds. From household cleaning products to large-scale manufacturing plants, sodium helps build the infrastructure of modern civilization. Time mantra. I use sodium. I use my flexibility to open paths of power. Space mantra. I am building the alkaline structure of sodium. I am sodium crystallized into structure. Day 11. Chakra, crown, sign, Aquarius. Day 11 looks toward the future through sodium-ion batteries. For years, lithium has dominated rechargeable battery technology. However, sodium is far more abundant and widely available. Researchers are developing sodium-ion batteries that may eventually provide cheaper and more sustainable energy storage. These batteries could help support renewable energy systems, electrical grids, backup power systems, and future transportation technologies. Sodium, one of the oldest and most familiar elements, may also become one of the most important elements in the next generation of energy solutions. Time mantra. I know sodium. I know how to unite science and life in balance. Space mantra. I am releasing sodium batteries into the future. I am connected sodium. Day 12. Chakra, higher star, sign, Pisces. Day 12 returns to the human body. Sodium is dissolved throughout blood, sweat, tears, lymph, and other bodily fluids. Every time you sweat during exercise, cry during an emotional moment, or lose fluids through dehydration, sodium is involved. Sports drinks contain electrolytes, primarily because athletes lose sodium through sweat. The continuous movement of sodium throughout the body's fluids helps maintain hydration, circulation, nerve function, and overall health. Sodium is not static. It is constantly flowing, circulating, and supporting life. Time mantra. I believe sodium. I believe in the invisible spark that preserves my life. Space mantra. I am dissolving sodium into the internal ocean. I am unified sodium. Day 13. Chakra, toroid, sign, integration. Day 13 brings everything together. By now we can see that sodium is not simply salt. It is a highly reactive metal, a component of essential minerals, a messenger of nerve impulses, a regulator of water balance, a source of yellow light, a key part of cellular machinery, an important electrolyte, a potential health risk when consumed in excess, a major component of the oceans, a cornerstone of industry, a candidate for future battery technology, and an essential element in every bodily fluid. Sodium connects chemistry, biology, medicine, technology, industry, and environmental science. It helps us think, move, communicate, hydrate, build, preserve, manufacture, and innovate. The story of sodium is ultimately the story of connection. It is an element that rarely exists alone. Instead, it forms relationships, creates reactions, and supports systems larger than itself. Thai mantra. I alchemize sodium. I alchemize salt into the essence of eternity. Space mantra. I am sealing the cycle of sodium within my philosopher's stone. I am complete sodium. I am the stone that is forming. Now we have completed the 11th cycle of the Alkhemia Path, sodium. Alchemical seal. I am the new state of consciousness. Abracadabra. I create as I speak. Wish you all a wonderful integration. We look forward to meeting you in the next element.